Well. Look who found me. Max just came up here. Who have you been fighting with, bro? Look at his face. Who have you been fighting with, mister? Oh, Max, what did you do? Okay, someone's not getting enough attention. Let me see your face. Let me see you. What did you do? What did you do? You're such a beautiful little boy. So are you, Abby. You're a beautiful little girl. You're smiling. Jeez. Oh. Max. A view for the dog. Look at her waiting so nicely. Okay, let's go. Crunch. It rained here last night. Look at the trumpet vine. So pretty. Look at that. That is so cool. They're so hefty. They're sturdy little buggers. Also, look at this bloomed. That's beautiful. So I've never seen a pattern like that on it. That's so cool. Look at how beautiful this is. This cutie little guy is so cute. I made this thing in like elementary school out of clay. These baskets of my mom's are so beautiful. This one, oh. They look so good. This dahlia we got her for, this is gross. Get off there. There's a grasshopper on here. We got her for Mother's Day. It's still in there. That is so disgusting. Quit eating that. We almost got the rest of this painted. This is the only side left that it needs to be painted. I think I did a clip of us painting it the other day. I'll put it in here. But yeah, this has got one coat on it and it needs at least 2 or 3. So I'm pretty sure that my sister is coming over on Friday to help me and my mom paint this. So I think that's at least what I heard her say on the phone the other day. This one too is so pretty. I don't know what this is, but it's like one of the cutest little boogers I've ever seen. Whoa, that's cool. That is so cool. Look at that. There's one over here that's red. This cutie little patootie. I walked all the way out here literally to get the mail. And I didn't even get the mail. Currently waiting for my sister. We're supposed to be doing a reel, and I'm waiting for her. She's talking to my parents. Anyway, that's pretty much all she wrote for this week's vlog. Fun fact, I've been like thinking and praying about a lot of like, okay, I don't even know if I want to do like the social media stuff, and I don't know if like this is exactly where I feel like the Lord is like calling me to like continue with this stuff. And like I was kind of wrestling with those thoughts this week, and was like, all right, like, okay, Lord, like I just give this up. Like I just give it over to you. And I'm like, I just was really wrestling with it. And so I mean, this is something that I've always kind of wrestled with, but I just didn't really know why I was wrestling with it so much, kind of like testing the spirits type of thing of like, okay, is this from you, Lord? Like, am I just facing doubt with this stuff, or is it like, is the passion not there? And so I feel like it's always good for me to just like completely get rid of it, be like, I've tested it quite a few times, and I know that it's something that I love doing, but it's just like this constant, like, it's hard to not see always necessarily what we think is like fruitful in our like stupid human brains, but yes, that means something completely different to the Lord, and it's usually about what he's growing in you and in how he's growing his fruits of the Spirit in your heart, and not necessarily like this fruit that we think it looks like in a physical aspect of like our human brains thinks it looks like amounts of followers, amounts of subscribers, and like all this stuff. And it's very like analytical and numbers based, and like that's how you, like, for me in my brain, I'm like, that's how I calculate whether this is fruitful or not, is the amount of numbers of subscribers, likes, blah 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 blah. But that's not accurate. So I think it's just been it all just takes time to test the spirits and where all this, like, where are these voices coming from, all this stuff. And so I was kind of like just really wrestling with it again this week, and found myself like completely being like, okay, Lord, like I just give this over to you. I don't want anything to do with this anymore. And I actually need to figure this out yet still. I hid my YouTube channel, and I don't know how to get it back. So I have to do some digging there. And I tried to do it yesterday, and I was like, you know, I hope I didn't just do something that I regret. And that's why I hid it. But then I was like, okay, what's going on? Because this is more difficult to get this back than I thought. And there was just some things that I was running into that I was like, okay. And so, yeah, I'm gonna have to figure that out. But also, with my Instagram, I deactivated that too, but you could just reactivate that. That one's not too difficult. But, so, yeah. Oh, but why I reactivated it and decided to be like, oh no, whatever, is like, I was praying, I was like, Lord, just get rid of all this. And I was like, I'm not gonna do this. And I was like, if you want me to do this, like, make it clear, like, whatever. And then I had I had a family member message me saying, I swear I just saw your Instagram and stuff the other day. I was gonna show somebody, like some of the videos on there or whatever, and I was like, no way. I was just like, okay, like this has an impact, like no matter like the amount of people, like it has an impact. And so I guess like it's just, it can be extremely discouraging sometimes when like from our worldly, like stupid worldly perspective, like it looks like in our eyes and in the eyes of the world around us, what we think like is like, it doesn't look like it's fruitful, it doesn't look like it's all these things, but yet like a heavenly impact is so much different than anything our mind could ever think. And I often think about that scripture of when Jesus literally said to, I think it was Peter, who Peter was like, Jesus was telling them, I'm going to die, and then 3 days later, I'm going to rise again and come back to life, whatever. And Peter's like, Lord, don't say these things. You aren't gonna die and all this stuff. And Jesus literally rebukes that, and he says, get away from me, Satan. And it's wild how you have to discern between those voices. It's like Jesus wasn't rebuking like Peter as Peter. He was rebuking what the enemy was using, because in the spiritual realm, it's like, again, we aren't fighting against flesh and blood, so he wasn't fighting against Peter. He was fighting against what the enemy was saying that could get to him in his heart to make him question his purpose, his mission, his calling that the Father called him to do and come and establish here on earth, to die for the sins of the world. And so he was rebuking that voice. And so to just like be aware of like, whoa, and that the enemy is all around us, and he's always on the prowl. And so this is what I mean, is like when I'm constantly in prayer of like, Lord, do I do this? Where is this coming from? And all these things, it's like that's what I'm trying to discern. These spirits, it's like, where am I hearing this stuff from? And why am I thinking this about this? And it takes a lot of work and a lot of like heart check, heart inventory, and all this stuff. And so when she reached out, I was like, all right, this is again. And he's done it both times that I've been like, no, Lord, I give this to you, and I don't want anything to do with this. And if it's yours, like you're going to bring it back into my life, and you're going to encourage me in a certain way. And both times he's done it through people who follow me, and they're messaging me, and they're being like, hey, like, keep it up. Like, and they're reaching out and encouragement. And it's like, okay, Lord, I hear you. I see you. Boom. I'm going right back on it. I'm reactivating it. I'm doing it. And it's just, sometimes it's that wrestle and that walk with him, but I feel like that's what it's all about. And so if you're struggling with these voices that you might be hearing, or you're struggling with these thoughts that you might be having, I ask that you would just like test the spirits, give it to the Lord, say, Lord, I give this to you. I give this to you completely and fully. And if it's from you, like, Lord, you're going to continue to bring it back up in my life. You're going to continue to show me and establish my steps, and show me how to steward this well. But if it's not from you, then take away my desire, give it all away. Like, just get rid of it. And so I just like encourage you to continue to test the spirits, continue to test what thoughts are coming into your mind, and be really take an inventory of your thoughts, and say, okay, Lord, like, where's this voice coming from, and who's telling me? And I often think of, especially in Genesis, when Adam and Eve knew that they were naked, and the Lord was like, who told you that? And that question always goes through my mind now, is like taking an inventory of like, who told you that? And even if it's a lie from your own flesh of like you're stupid, you're ugly, like just anything, it's like, who told you that? And I will say, like, it is the most mentally draining thing to take inventory of your thoughts and take every thought captive, but it is the most vital thing in your spirituality, for your physical health, your mental health, all of it. It stems from, like, we got to be on guard, and we got to be praying. We got to be really watchful and aware of what's going on around us, within our hearts and the hearts of others. And yeah, anyway, that's it for today's vlog. I haven't done that in a while. Deuces. I made her do a reel with me, and now I have to help her wash her car.